Mamdani.
Mandami.
4 words. Turn the volume up.
Congratulations to Zoran Mandami.
The name is Mamdani. From the Bangladeshi auntie to the parents, strangers, thank you for knocking. Fight for working people, no apology. Fight for a city that works for everybody. From Port Richmond to Jackson Heights, from Harlem to Bay Ridge. Bring the flavor to the rice. We deserve a city we can afford and a life of dignity where we can do more and keep on the lights. Make buses fast and free. Eliminate the fare, make them move with ease. Freeze the rent, build housing for everyone needs. Childcare and no cost to parents. Not a green when I look out onto the midnight skyline. I see strangers helping each other in dark times. We won with the most votes in city history. Victory shattered Cuomo's inevitability. The billionaires got scared. Work day and night to stop. Mamdani is Mamdani. From the Ethiopian auntie to the parents, strangers, thank you for knocking. Fight for working people, no apology. Fight for a city that works for everybody. From Port Richmond to Jackson Heights, from Harlem to Bay Ridge. Bring the flavor to the rice. We deserve a city we can afford and a life of dignity where we can do more and keep on the lights. Working people with fingers bruised, knuckles scarred, palms calloused from delivery by handlebars, not hands allowed to hold power. My brother, we are in City Hall. New York will be the light in the dark, as Eugene Debs once said. I can see the dawn. May our only regret be that it took so long. I speak of the abuelas, the aunties, the single moms. Democracy's yours too. Together we can respond. We will leave mediocrity back in the past. Make this greatness anything but abstract. Hope over despair, despite attack after attack. Refuse to accept a better future's a relic of the past. I know you're watching Donald Trump. Turn the volume up. To get to any of us, we'll have to get through all of us. The billionaire class wants people to fight to stop. Mamdani is Mamdani. From the Senegalese auntie to the parents, strangers, thank you for knocking. Fight for working people, no apology. Fight for a city that works for everybody. From Port Richmond to Jackson Heights, from Harlem to Bay Ridge. Bring the flavor to the rice. We deserve a city we can afford and a life of dignity where we can do more and keep on the lights. People started to learn how to pronounce my name. Hell yeah. Right now, it's off the top of the dome.
Every parade has the right to exist in New York City. I would ask
David,
you,
thank you.
Mr. Mandami.
He gave the finger to the Christopher Columbus.
What's going on, everybody?
Disgraziato.
I haven't thought much about parades, to be honest.
Mayors should be going to all parades.
My focus is on affordability. I'm not thinking about
Well, you're not
statues.
answering the question.
Excuse me.
He gave the finger to the Columbus Day statue.
You know, I was shot in the back of a yellow cab in 1992.
What the
It's
fuck?
like a boy yellow cab.
Mr. Sewell, what do you use?
I'm in the subway, buses, Uber if I have to, but I find my way around. Shot 5 times by the guys in Gambinos. I'm not gonna back down. I'm not gonna back down.
Excuse me.
My legal.
Okay. Enough. What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from. I was about to literally say sunny California, Los Angeles. Like, I've lost it. I've lost it at this point. Live and alive from Shanghai, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on. God damn it. Why can't this fucking thing just remain relatively stable? Anyway, whatever. This is what we got. You sound like you just woke up. I did. I woke up. I mean, guys. I'm 同志们好. Everybody, I'm live. I'm alive. We're in Pudong, Shanghai, China, the People's Republic of China. And what I have to say to you is 同志们好. Your sleep schedule must be destroyed. I mean, you already know. You already know what it is. It's the lemon bro, as they call me out here. The boat ride was awesome. Great. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I was live yesterday. I was live yesterday for how many hours? How many fucking hours was I live yesterday for? I didn't even eat dinner. I just came back. I didn't even eat dinner last night. I just straight up came back. Someone recorded FETTERMAN's fall. Oh, come on, Megaphonics. You stole M Hud's thunder, dude. You just stole M Hud's thunder? That's messed up. Yeah, for people saying what boat ride, this is part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news about what's going on in the world of HasanAbi Piker. In between the time period where I'm pressing the stop streaming button and press the start streaming button, so help me God, that's what I'm gonna do. Even though there's like not really a lot of times, a lot of hours in the day that I was actually pressing the stop streaming button, because I was live the entire day, like almost literally the entire day, with the exception of like a couple hours where I slept. I woke up yesterday. I took a shower. I started my live stream. Then, after that, I went throughout the entire day. We basically walked the entire city. Or not the entire city, but like the downtown, like Times Square part of Shanghai. And it was awesome. It was a phenomenal experience. Unhealthy amount of screen time, Lamau. Yeah, I know. Basically we went into Shanghai, no holds barred, unrestricted. They had like a very cool. The camera's a little out of focus. Really? What is happening? Hold on. Ay. Is it better now? Have you been reading your little red book? I have been. Hold on. Once again, you were late to stream. Made no apologies, gave only excuses. Yeah, exactly. Because I'm lazy. I'm bad. But also, where was I? Late night streams be going hard as fuck. Stay up, King. Okay, so yeah, basically what ended up happening is we had lunch. Okay, and then after that we swapped over to Will's broadcast, and then we just literally tore the town up. You see, it's not the Asians don't find you attractive. It's just the Japanese and Koreans like the effeminate type, not Chinese. No, I think the Chinese beauty standards go in either direction, because there's a lot of like there's a lot of attractive twinks that are super famous. How's jail? Spaceflight news: Blue Origin landed their first orbital rocket booster today, making them the second institution to do it ever. That's pretty crazy. But yeah. White Chinese should be on Chinese time, bro. Stop with the LA time. Yeah. I'm still LA time though. No matter what. Okay. I saw the Bilibili comments. I'm glad you guys are loving the Bilibili comments. Your Variety article went hard. Oh yeah, my Variety article came out as well. But what was I going to say? You called your shot so hard in this Variety interview. I've never seen pre-watch Piker pay off this hard. Yeah, I was farming mad aura in this Variety article. I'm not gonna lie. We'll get to it. I was aura farming in the Variety in the Variety article, straight up. Industrial complex is popping off on Bilibili. It's pretty fire. That makes me happy. Here it is. BDBD uploaders are working. We'll get to all of that in a second. Basically, for those who didn't watch Will's stream after for those who watched Will's stream after 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 lunch, we just tore the town apart. Basically, went all up and down Shanghai. So many fans in Shanghai, but that makes sense. It's more international. My favorite is when a Chinese viewer comes up to me and tells me that his girlfriend loves watching me, and that his girlfriend is going to school in America. Which is pretty funny. Trying to speedrun yesterday's stream. Pause. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot going on. No, it's not like your hater said you should stay in China. Damn, for once my haters have brought up a good point. I am not going to be staying in China, most likely. Hopefully I'll be able to come back into the United States of America, but I am enjoying my time quite a bit. She posted the TikTok of her watching. I can't go on TikTok, unfortunately. Yeah, we went viral. Chat, we went viral with this quote. Has this been one of your favorite places to travel to? Absolutely. 100%. Why do Western media act like you're in a government black site in China? What do you mean? I think you guys don't understand. You know how, like, I have a lot of ops because of Israel? A lot of State Department ops due to my takes on Israel. A lot of pro-Israel ops. I also have a lot of anti-China ops as well, due to my position that I think many would consider to be normal if they just thought about it for a brief moment, which is that China is just another country, just like any other country. There's good, there's bad, there's criticisms that you can make, which I do. And also, there's a lot of good. The people are great. The food is amazing. The culture is amazing. And I am very fortunate. I'm very fortunate to be able to actually experience it firsthand, right? But of course, all the foreign affairs people who are aware of me are not very fond of my they're not very fond of my China trip. Hassan Piker slowly becoming the new Jackson Hinkle, doing Chinese propaganda for a living. Insane. Yeah, it's stuff like this. It's stuff like this that I find to be so strange. Because, like, you should be able to go to countries, okay? Like, there is no comparison between China and, like, Israel, for example. You know what I mean? Like, nobody gives me this much grief when I go to Japan. Okay? Like, nobody's like, dude, I can't believe you've traveled to Japan and you love... Oh, God, this guy's mentality is so stupid. 3 people with almost identical foreign policy stances. Oh, my God. Finnish PhD candidate. Oh, my God. Why is NatSeg Twitter like this? I mean, it makes sense. It makes fucking sense. It makes sense. No one cared where iShowSpeed did it. I'll be the one to say it. Yes, because iShowSpeed's fans are like all 14 and they don't actually spend a lot of time on Twitter, or the ones that do spend time on Twitter will look to a statement like this and go, what the fuck are you saying? Unk, you're stupid. That's the difference. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. They probably can't even explain your foreign policy stance. Who cares, lol? I know. Cuba trip would have been just as bad. I mean, Cuba trip would have probably landed me in prison in the aftermath. But yeah, nobody should ever be linking me 80 like tweets. I'm gonna be honest. That's crazy. You're on red now? Oh, I've officially made it onto Xiaohongshu. Xiaohongshu. What's up, guys? I'm Hassan Piker. I'm gonna be on Xiaohongshu. The red book, the red note. I'm traveling to Shanghai from Beijing. I want to leave you with some parting words. Guangzhou. Is that good? Hell yeah. It's so strange to remember the highs and lows of China's popularity on the U.S. Remember the peak xenophobia of COVID and the peak xenophilia of the red note TikTok debacle. Yeah. Your streams have made my dad a China simp. He's a STEM guy, so it wasn't too hard to convert him. But the way you describe China's place in the global economy and that they are actually only interested in developing their own infrastructure and place in trade, not trying to take over the world or whatever got through to him on the topic of China, at least. Yeah, don't say that out loud. That's the reason why all my fucking foreign policy ops, my State Department ops are going crazy. Okay? That's the reason. That's the real reason. Because for iShowSpeed, it was just like he's just having fun, right? He's just out here having fun in China and showing how wonderful China is. But like when I do that, people also go, well, you're an adult. You're an adult who has an adult fan base who is very dangerously entertaining the notion that like you know, very, very dangerously showing that China is just like any other country, a major power in the world. You know what I mean? But it's just so stupid, especially because doing this about China is exceptionally stupid. Because once again, it's fucking 30% of our trade, man. Like, it's the manufacturing hub of the planet. So much trade. We do so much trade with China. Like, it's not even like a country that is a full adversary that's like cut off from the rest of the world. Like there are a lot of, look, here, I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll give you an example with India. Are there a lot of issues with Indian governance? Absolutely. Is India a beautiful country? Of course. Imagine like this level of animosity. Like if I just travel to India, do you think all of these foreign policy accounts, all these like NatSec Twitter accounts, would they be freaking the fuck out being like, oh, this white boy's in India, bro. He's showing the good side of India. I mean, I'm sure there'd be a lot of racists who would do that, right? But like, I'm talking about the type of people right now that exist in like polite society that, write for Foreign Policy magazine and stuff like that. I can't believe he's visited France. France still controls the currency of West Africa. Like, nah, I can't believe you went to France. Dude, what the fuck? It is what it is. And this doesn't mean that there aren't like, there aren't issues in China, right? Like, that's not even what I'm saying. It's just so stupid that people do this thing, but it's expected. What is NatSec? National security. People who are LARPing for free, like they are CIA agents. Why China block gay dating apps? I don't think that's true. I think you saw that on Twitter. I don't know if that's true. Chatter, this is exactly what I mean. If you get your notes from Twitter, which by the way, like you'll see, we're about to go to Chengdu. What's really funny about this is like China's gay as hell. Like, just watch the stream and you will see. Like Austin's been on the apps. That's so funny. There is like, I mean, it's true. Apple removes Chinese gay dating apps on government order. Okay, but that's Apple. Blued and Finca, two of China's most popular gay dating apps, suddenly disappeared from Apple's Chinese app store, fanning fears among LGBTQ people. Dude, that's Apple. Wait, this happened yesterday? Okay, I'm gonna go ask people if it's like still available on Huawei. Because guess what? Not everything you read in news media is as it seems, is all I'm saying when it comes to stuff like this. Especially considering that even the likes of Newsweek, for example, those apps are super fucking popular. For the record, those apps are super popular. For the record, just so you know. And I assume, I mean, I might be totally wrong on this, but I assume they might have done it for like data related reasons, like privacy related reasons, as far as like, it's kind of like Grindr. I think Grindr was about to be sold. Grindr was about to be sold to a Chinese company, and then they refused to. Yeah, see, Top G is correct. We tried to buy Grindr and expand it to China, but your Congress blocked the sale because they feared of being outed. Literally, Grindr was supposed to be sold to a Chinese company, I'm pretty sure, and the American government literally blocked that deal from happening because they were like, no, too many of our dudes are sucking penises on there. Too many dudes in Congress are sucking penises on there. We can't let like the Chinese get backdoor access into this. This is a real thing that took place. And I assume that this is basically the reverse version of that. Like the Chinese government probably doesn't want, like any sort of Western software or hardware to have access to information about, like, you know, LGBT Chinese people. But it's kind of funny. Your hours are insufficient and your content is lagging. Shut the fuck up, Top G. I did 16 hours. Suck my dick, okay? I did not even 16. I did 17 hours. I was on camera for 17 hours yesterday. I crawled back into bed and I passed out and I woke up and instantly started streaming. But yeah, I haven't seen this, but it is pretty funny because Austin just downloaded this app. Anyway. Let's blast off. Let's get started because there's so much to talk about. Is China day 5? Brother, Austin downloaded the app and the Chinese government said no more. That's crazy. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Oh, also, it's obviously Thursday, November 13th here. Or Thursday, November 13th there in Los Angeles, 1:50 p.m. It's 5:50 Friday, 14th here in China. China Day 5, Epstein leaks threaten Trump shutdown. Trump shutdown over, Fetterman down, Variety profile, Shanghai suit stream later. Get in now. It's Friday for you. Why are we not dancing? Stop. We'll do that tomorrow when it's Friday for you guys. I operate off of LA time, remember? Where's Mufasa? I operate off of LA time, remember? Can you show off the fit? I will. Hold on. Is it Austin's birthday again? No, we're done with Austin's birthday. We've done too much Austin birthday, okay? What's the future like? I mean, the future is sick. The future is Pog. Yes, I have the Fetterman fall. Don't worry. I will do Mufasa Friday tomorrow because technically it's Friday here, but I'm operating off of LA time, man. Jesus Christ. It's not Friday for you guys. It's Friday just for me. Y'all want to be Chinese so bad that you want to be on Beijing time. Yeah, you get 2 Fridays. All right, anyway, let's blast off. But yeah, one of the coolest things that happened yesterday was that Will and I have been looking for Chinese brands, right? We've been looking for Chinese fashion brands. And we've been looking for Chinese fashion brands this entire time. Like, and we keep asking, you know, young people in China and just like whoever, what the Chinese brands are, right? Like what the poppin' Chinese brands are. And they just kept telling us, nah, Chinese brands are, it's not that great. It's not that great. And I literally think it's because a lot of young people in China, at least the ones that we talked to, all were so invested in like foreign brands that they just kept like, you know, they think their own brands, like they think the Chinese brands are not that good. And it could not be further from the fucking truth. I'm dressed up. I'm dripped up right now with the Chinese brand up and down. Look at this. Hold on. Look. I got these as well. This is, I don't know if you can see because it's very dark, but yeah. It's called Army Fatigue. Person Soul are a Chinese brand. Oh, I've heard that one too. But the brand is called Army Logic Vintage Fashion. And honestly, it is fucking crazy. I was watching the VODs of you trying on the fit, and a lot of the comments are like, oh, these foreigners are unexpectedly into Chinese style. I think it's just that everyone in China grew up with Chinese aesthetics, so we're used to it. Yeah, it's so funny that like it's funny that like when we asked about this shit, when we asked for like Chinese brands, they were just like, it's fine. Like don't get Chinese stuff. It's boring. It's like what the Chinese shushu wear, the unks wear here. Which I guess is true technically. Yeah, go get they're like, go get something good. go get something good instead. Wow, this is sick. Person soul. Oh, I can't wait to show this to Will. He's gonna fucking flip. This is it? Whoa. What the hell? This is like cyber cowboy. Wow. There's some really fucking cool stuff. Anyway. But yeah, I was like, we were late for the boat, right? We were late for the boat that we were about to go to on the river. And I was like, we have to go upstairs for a second. We have to go upstairs for a second. We also had a really interesting situation with this brand. I don't know what it's called, but it's a Japanese one. But anyway, I got this jacket from. But the person that was ringing us up had literally never encountered a fucking credit card. Okay? They had never encountered a credit card. I'm not even kidding. It was like a young dude, and he tried to ring us up with a credit card, and he would like shove the wrong side of the credit card, like the side that doesn't even have the chip, into the machine. I was like, I cannot believe it. Like I have never experienced that in my life. It was shocking. He was just like, I don't know what to do. Like I've literally never purchased anything or have been in a situation, as in, you know, the years that I've been in the service industry, I've never had to put a credit card into the pay machine. You're so American, bro. No, that's unique, man. That's fucking unique. Because it's not like they are a cash only business. They don't have any cash whatsoever. They don't use cash at all. They're so used to the digital pay system here that they don't even know what a credit card looks like, man. It's crazy. I'm telling you, it is the most insane thing I have ever experienced. Yeah, it's WeChat, WePay, or Alipay. Not many people use those apps in China. Shohongshu and Seoul are what we use the most. It's for data for sure. What? CBC might scare of the US knowing which member is queer. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, the Bluey or whatever, the gay dating apps. Yeah, this was funny as well. Hold on, this was a funny moment. This is you know, I'll take it, but here. You know who we are?
Okay, well, wait.
No. Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I mean, no one's here to ask, actually.
What?
So, okay, so they're supposed to go to this dinner place, but are we still going?
Most of the SCA is heading that way. Malaysia is all QR code based payments. You almost 40, Unc. You're not going to get away with it forever. Yeah, I know. Where do you stream these? This was on Will's stream. This was on Will's stream. Oh yeah, BDBD users noticed something about you. Okay, here come the statements. Okay, here come the statements. Get a suit done. I'm going to. Does it feel weird to be streaming at 5 a.m. yet? Or are you still on LA time? No, it does feel weird to be streaming at 5 a.m. This morning I woke up at 3 again on my own, and then I passed out, and I basically got up at like 4:50. Yeah. Chinese netizens getting involved is pretty funny. Where is it? Yeah. Apparently, they posted like Asmongold talking shit. Absolutely ridiculous. 2 foreign troll influencers forcefully mock China visiting blogger Hasan. Who's the real hypocrite here? Pretend to be objective, but now showing their true colors. The lemon envy crown is about to change hands. Asmongold, extreme right wing, no social life, never goes out. A game streamer who started with WoW and recently shifted to the political commentary, slightly more popular than Hasan. It's worth mentioning Hasan and Asmongold's dad were very close, but Asmongold's dad recently passed away. His last words on Hasan's stream were wishing Hasan a happy birthday. I don't know how they truly feel about this. XQC knows nothing, just messing around. Previously promoted gambling and was opposed by Hasan, leading to a feud. He nitpicks every action and opinion of Hasan, unrelated ideology, not on a level, just treated as an R-word entertainment. Where's the double standard? One shot at him and used tear gas, the other just verbally questioned him for a few minutes before letting him go. Can he really judge by the same standard? This guy should stick to what he's good at, playing games, watching dating shows, or biting his toenails. He really doesn't have the brain capacity to tackle serious topics. That's crazy. Bro, you guys are putting out such an insane amount of content. Watched most of your stream yesterday, then woke up to a 6-hour out on VOD on Will's channel. Absolute content, Demon's Law. Yeah. But, of course, that's the good. But then there's also the bad. Or this is also the good. Bilibili uploaders are working. Hasan's group stroll around the bund. Hasan's group tours the bund. America's top political streamer. Lemon Bro travels in Shanghai. Hasan tours Shanghai pedestrian street. There's a lot of these sorts of videos out there. They're popping off on BDVD, which is sick. And then I saw this. His body was so incredibly large, yet his head and face were so small. Okay? What the fuck is this? His body was so incredibly large, yet his head and face were so small. When he was sitting down, I didn't even realize how big he was just by looking at his face. And I, a woman, am much smaller than him, but my head and face are much bigger. And when I gain weight, my face gets bigger first. That's a compliment, right? Dude, how is his proportion so good? Tall, muscular, and a small head. What the fuck? The head to body and head to shoulder ratios are amazing. Have to admit, this blogger is really handsome. Can't describe how handsome. Fits the image of a tall Western man in our eyes. Young Stalin. Turkish descent. Too westernized. I told you, man. I told you. I told you. That's right. Small head is a good thing in China. You pay way more than 20K for these comments, lol. Yeah. 20,000 yuan. Those are Twitch chatters who translated something into Chinese. Come on, lol. I think you can kind of tell when someone is a Twitch chatter and someone is not. You could cop the river ward fit. Oh shit, that is true. That's fire. East Asia loves small heads and small faces. One of my family members has literally said that small face equals compliment. Yeah, it's like when you eat a treat and you say, not too sweet. I use that as a negative because I want something to be super sweet. But people in Asia are like, oh, not too sweet. A compliment. This video popped off of you getting the little red book. I can't tell how many views does this have. I have one too. My advisor gave it to me. It's obvious he really liked the gift. His first instinct upon receiving it was to share it, haha, but others seemed... Did you cut your hair, bro? No, I didn't. The video of you and Austin on the train got 4 million views on Bilibili. Oh, shit. Nice. Oh, 105,000 top left. Damn. Okay, the Bilibili videos are starting to pop off, dude. Did you ever get the bag to work with it? What do you mean? You can tell where the comments are from. They have their locations next to their comments. They were all provinces in China. Oh, IRL Toolkit and Bitty Bitty. I did get it to work. Yes. And yes, I know my my. I like that you said your Vanity Fair article. It's literally Variety. You linked it. Yes. Please drink some caffeine. You look and sound really tired. Yeah, it's 6 a.m. I just woke up. Calm down. Bro, post the Variety photos on your Instagram. They're really good photos. Sure. Anyway, yeah, this was actually really special. A chatter gave me here. I'll show you some of the stuff, but one stream sniper gave me exclusive One Piece stuff that is only available in Shanghai. Including this panda. Okay. One of the Chinese stream snipers gave me this, which is bird spit, right? It's like bird spit porridge. How do you say this? What is it called? And I will try this eventually. Or bird's nest, sorry. But it is bird spit, yeah. Nest spit. What is it called? Kopche? Is that what it is? No. Do not try it. I heard it's like rough to eat. But yeah, it's rice with bird's nest, which is bird spit. Put it in the fridge. Yanwo, he said it was a different name for it, but yeah, apparently it's sweet as well. I got this also for free from the brand because I really like this cologne. And this is what I was talking about. This is an English printed version of quotations from Chairman Mao Zedong. And it is literally like this right here is an incredibly rare cultural artifact. And it even has the first page removed. It starts off with Workers of All Countries Unite from 1966. It's the English printed version from Foreign Languages Press in Peking, 1966. Quotations from Chairman Mao Zedong. First edition, printed in the People's Republic of China. There's also like a protective cover between the photo of Mao. And the first page is removed. It's this, isn't that banned? Technically, no. There is not, I think there is not a first edition you can find. Like, there are some, but they're super rare that has, like, the first page not removed. Because of, but even though the first page is removed, it still has the foreword. So I don't know. I don't know what was in the first page. I'm literally reading the book about specifically this, but basically, it's because of Lin Biao. Am I saying his name right? And the history of whether or not he was like, I think it was like in the aftermath of his death, there was assertions that he had betrayed Mao, and that he was like removed. Like his legacy was tarnished, and he was removed from the due to an alleged coup plot. He was removed from the forward, but he still has the Do you plan to address the hate campaign against Casey Tron? What? What hate campaign against Casey Tron? Like the regular, like the everyday one? What are you talking about? Like the same people that attack me all the time? Is that what you're saying? I'm in China, man. What is the book called? Quotations. Am I the only one hearing static? Probably. Why do you read chatters that have nothing to do with what you're talking about? I don't know, because I'm stupid. But wait, you guys are also hearing static? Is it when I speak? No. Okay. Some people are not hearing it. And some people are hearing it, it seems. But yeah, we got a lot of stuff. We got a lot of we got a lot of good stuff. We got a lot of fun stuff. I can't believe I'm getting cooked like this, but at least I'm getting compared to the GOAT. No static for me? Hell yeah. Nice. In any case, we have the Variety article as well, which I will be getting into. But yeah, China's been going great. I'm having a great time. And I'll look at the gay dating app. I'll look at the gay dating app thing in a little bit. Do they have Twitch in China, or do Chinese viewers watch through a VPN or something? Yes, a lot of Chinese people have VPNs. And they are totally tapped in. Like, they know. Like, it's like it's not like totally illegal or anything like that. It's just mostly just like, yeah. Are you going to apologies to the one chatter you yelled at yesterday? You reposted her TikTok about her saying she was just trying to make a joke. Yeah, I didn't even see the TikTok. I just reposted it. I saw that I was yelling at someone who was like making a statement. I'm sorry, chatter. I don't know why chatters do this. Like, what are you, the fucking hall monitor? What is this? Yeah, no harm, no foul. You know what I mean? Like, why are you scolding me? Do you want to get yelled at? Like, she or he made a joke about it, and you know, I'm sorry. What's the biggest surprise from China so far? I don't know. I'm such a China weeb in general, like, that nothing I've seen thus far has really been that shocking, except for how much people will literally fucking move through you. Okay? Like I said, Chinese people are very direct. They're very straightforward. Okay? If they want to go on a straight line, they are going to go on a straight line. And sometimes you're going to be in that straight line and they will just get you out of the way. Whether they're on a Vespa, an e-bike, or a little train, like a little baby train that goes through a mall, is crazy, but I have never been anywhere in the world where a bunch of little tiny old ladies, okay, will just straight up be like, move. Also, I've been all around the world, as you guys know, and this is the first time I've had like the whole crowds forming everywhere we go to look at us thing. Like it didn't happen in Japan, but only because we rarely ever left Tokyo when we were in Japan, so it doesn't count, right? But even in Shanghai, a light version of the Blue app remains available on Chinese app stores, according to checks by the BBC. Some other gay and bisexual dating apps are also available in the country, like Jitko and Jacked. You think the rest of the group is enjoying it? They are loving it. But I knew I was going to love it anyway. But I'm glad that the rest of the group is also enjoying it now, because I'm glad that the rest of the group is also enjoying it, because I was worried that they were not going to like it as much. But it's also impossible not to like it, man. It's just like if you like developed major metropolitan cities with a lot of art, history, culture, good public transit, cool amenities, why the fuck wouldn't you enjoy China? They have all of that and more, you know what I mean? Girl, they about to jump you in Chengdu Gay City if you don't twerk. Yeah, I'm gonna get my ass beat then, because I don't know how to twerk Chinese style. Yeah, the Vanity Fair article came out as well, but talk to me about Fetterman news, man. All right, dude, here, okay, here.
All right, when we see it, you see it. Got a little bit of breaking news. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman took a fall near his home. His staff just sent out this statement on X. Here it is. They explained during an early morning walk, Senator Fetterman sustained a fall near his home in Braddock. They say as out of an abundance of caution, he was transported to a hospital in Pittsburgh. Upon evaluation, it was established he had something called a ventricular fibrillation flare-up that led to the senator feeling lightheaded, falling to the ground, hit his face with minor injuries. Now, Senator Fetterman, who is often pretty spotty when he talks, right? Here's what he had to say after getting a ride to the hospital. He said, "I thought my face looked bad before. Wait until you see it now." By all accounts, he's doing well, getting observed, and we'll continue following this story. Of course, this.
What if he became a socialist now? I'm just saying. What if this flipped him back?
Senator has made headlines before for some health concerns, but he is choosing to strike a lighter tone. It sounds like he's grateful to the EMTs and doctors and nurses who are there to help him.
Now to the it's a ransom. Free food stamps. She my type. Only fans and food stamps. Treat my trap like a boot camp. This random dope, we don't do stamps. Got a BBL, that shit stank. Hit it once, sat on top rank. Off the Remy, they ain't have my drink. Net Fetterman doing what they can't. Got a bald head, John Fetter. Walk in, get lit out of Democrat party. Get a bitch pregnant out of Republican party. Call Fetterman, dad got fentanyl Molly. Who the fuck you think you is? Who the hell you thought you was? Nigga bought a church in Pennsylvania off his family drugs. Nigga, you like 6'8". White man can't jump to this day. All your advice is dead dirt. My samples that don't make you dance break. We still trafficking through PA. My dogs in Philly got switches for days. I feel like Neff Ketterman. I feel like Neff Fetty White Man.
We wish him a speedy recovery so that he can finally turn socialist once again. What happened to the fucking light in here? Am I crazy? Did the light just like flip off? God damn, the color grading in this fucking room, man. You still look young? Bitch, I'm 34. Guess what legacy he's most proud of? The light is normal, what? It looks orange. The room looks orange. You went from China to Mexico? Yeah. Anyway, free Fetty Wap man, yeah. And of course, this is John Fetterman's legacy. Senator John Fetterman in a video 2 days prior, in a video message to the World Jewish Congress dinner after being honored with the Theodore Herzl Award says, proudest thing I've ever done in my entire Senate career is to stand for Israel and the Jewish community worldwide through this horrible war in Gaza. Thanks, man. That's sick. That's sick, dude. Nice. Good job. Netanyahu just tweeted out, Israel did not trip John Fetterman. What an odd thing to say. Yeah, my sources are telling me that John Fetterman was about to turn on Israel any moment now. Any moment now. Yeah, they were. Yeah, what happened is he outlived his usefulness to Israel, and they were like, all right, it's time to burn this asset. Footage of the fall. Okay, dude, I know exactly what this is because this is MHUD's most treasured. This is MHUD's most treasured video. That's not the real fall. Okay, that's not. For those, I'm not doing fake news. That's not actually John Fetterman, just someone who looks like him. Okay. Making Kelly some wild shit. I know, but let's do the Epstein stuff first.
From the congressional release of files related to Jeffrey Epstein, including emails in which the convicted sex offender mentions Donald Trump. Pressure is growing this morning for more of the Epstein files to be released by the Justice Department. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce is tracking the latest. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. And these messages are sparking fresh questions about President Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. The White House denies any wrongdoing by the president, but the administration still refuses to release the full FBI files on Epstein. And now this morning on Capitol Hill, an effort to force their release is finally moving forward. This morning, as the White House downplays newly released emails from convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein repeatedly discussing President Trump, an effort on Capitol Hill to force a vote on the release of the full Epstein files, garnering its final signature. Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva sworn in after a 7-week delay, signing on to the petition to force a vote on the files release as her first act in Congress.
I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files.
The White House is well aware that a vote would put Republicans in an uncomfortable position. Many of the president's supporters have previously...
Are you still talking about this Jeffrey Epstein stuff? Folks, are we still talking about it? Nobody cares about this Jeffrey Epstein fellow. Everybody knows. Everybody knows Jeffrey Epstein is a bad guy. Why are people still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? What, the hoax? Jeffrey Epstein? The finance man? The New York financier? Is that who you're talking about? You're just now telling me this. You're just now telling me this. This guy, he never dies. He never dies. My favorite part is that Levitt says he was a pedophile and a creep. Meanwhile, Trump is the one who was associated with him. I don't think that helps your case. Yeah, I don't know why they're... Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. Are people still talking about this guy, this creep? Unbelievable. Which Epstein are you talking about? Which one? Which one? My neighbor from Palm Springs, is that the one? The financier, the New York financier, very famous guy, loves him young, just like I do. Or are you talking about the Jeffrey Epstein that I know? My friend, my good friend, Jeffrey Epstein. That's right, believe it. Or are you talking about the bad guy? He's a bad guy. Your Trump impressions have changed? Yeah, because I was live for 17 hours yesterday and my voice is shot. Yeah, Adam Johnson. Epstein must have had some banger financial advice. Everyone who gets caught emailing him had fun last week, winky face, insists that they had to talk to him post-conviction because of his financial and/or philanthropic advice was just too goddamn irreplaceable. He just had a knack for it, I guess. This raises a good question, says Jeet here. Is there actually any email where he's offering financial advice? Some vague donor stuff, but not really. Gates keeps giving this line. He hung out with Epstein multiple times because Epstein had access to donors for public health, and not once does anyone ask the obvious question, who specifically is this person? Who are these people who Bill Gates cannot, on his own, get in touch with? Yes. Noam Chomsky, a lot more connected to Jeffrey Epstein than we previously knew as well, by the way. Noam Chomsky literally met with Lula in prison and then connected Lula to Epstein. Libertarians, man. Freaking dude, I'm sorry, but you got to hold that L. If you're anarcho-syndicalist, if you're a libertarian socialist out here today, not a good day, you know? Not a good day for the lib socks. I mean, he's like 954 years old, so it is what it is, you know, at this point. But god damn, you can't be outraged by the Epstein saga and simultaneously not be outraged by the fact that we have Muslims serving in Congress. Wait, what? What does that even... I'm sorry. What the fuck? Wait. How is this? She's just saying things that piss her off, I guess. Like, yeah. You can't be outraged by the Jeffrey Epstein stuff and then not be outraged by the fact that I was refused service at my local coffee shop earlier today. Like, what do you mean? She just said, Muslims exist. How is that a thing? This to me is the perfect distillation of all of the Israel Defense Force attitudes, right? This is the perfect summarization of it. It's like, oh yeah, you're talking about how Israel has an unimaginably connected network of espionage at the domestic level and a pervasive network of influence, a corrosive influence on American domestic affairs. But also Muslims exist. You know, there's Muslims around us, right? Remember the Muslims? Islam. Like, that's it. She just panicked. It feels like she panicked and just did the purest form of this thing that I've been talking about for like the last month or so. The Israel Advocacy Networks basically realizing that they can't do pro-Israel commentary and content anymore in the Western world. So they're deciding to just hit the fuck Muslims line over and over again. Which is pretty funny. Congratulations, I guess. Yeah, also defending Chuck Schumer. This is going to genuinely cause people to never want to associate with Laura Loomer on the right, by the way. Even on the left, there's a movement to remove all Jewish voices from politics. This is happening on the left and right. It's very calculated. Yeah, I don't think Laura Loomer and other people realize that this kind of attitude, this kind of like hysteria only breeds more resentment towards her, towards Zionists, and also Jewish people as well. Like you're defending Chuck Schumer. Your own base is going to turn around. Your own base is going to turn around and be like, what do you... So you do care only about Jewish people, I guess, is what the response to that is going to look like. But let's continue with the Presidente.
Called for their release. In an
Pee-pee, President pedophile.
attempt to stop the petition, top White House and Justice Department officials, including the Attorney General and FBI Director, attempting to pressure Congresswoman Lauren Boebert into removing her name from it, meeting with her Wednesday in the Situation Room. But it didn't work. Boebert, ultimately one of 4 Republicans who signed on in support. We pressed the White House. But given your interest in transparency, Caroline, why are White House officials then meeting with Representative Boebert in an effort to try and get her to not sign this petition calling for the release of the files?
Doesn't it show transparency that members of the Trump administration are willing to brief members of Congress whenever they please?
It comes just hours after House Democrats released those emails.
Yeah, no, that definitely is what it shows. The question was about lack of transparency about these files that are, you know, that's information the public wants to know, and how Donald Trump is thwarting the efforts to release those files, as in transparency. Excuse me. Why won't you applaud our transparent efforts to deny you more information about this thing, about the president being deeply connected to an Israeli Mossad CIA sex trafficking network operator? Why won't you recognize how transparent we are being, how forthcoming we are being about how we're stopping you from finding out more information about this thing?
Obtained from the Epstein estate, showing the convicted sex offender discussing Trump and seeming to suggest he had information he never shared. In a 2011 exchange with his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein writing the quote, "dog that hasn't barked is Trump," adding one of his victims spent hours with Trump at Epstein's home, but that Trump had never once been mentioned. Maxwell replying, "I have been thinking about that." House Republicans in the White House identifying the victim as Virginia Giuffre, who once worked at Trump's spa at Mar-a-Lago. Giuffre said she never saw Trump do anything inappropriate. She died by suicide earlier this year. In a 2018 text exchange, someone whose name is redacted wrote to Epstein, "It will all blow over. They're really just trying to take down Trump and doing whatever they can to do that." The context of the message is unclear, but Epstein responding, "It's wild because I am the one able to take him down." Trump and Epstein were friends for more than a decade.
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
After Epstein's arrest in 2019, Trump said he hadn't spoken to him in 15 years. He insists he broke off the friendship when he learned Epstein and Maxwell were luring away young female staffers who worked at Mar-a-Lago.
He stole people that worked for me. I said, "Don't ever do that again." He did it again, and I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it.
In a 2019 email to author Michael Wolff, Epstein writing, "Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever." Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Now, Ghislaine Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking. Sources say she's angling for a pardon, and when asked about it, Trump hasn't ruled it out. Now, as for that petition to force the files released, Speaker Johnson, who's gone to great lengths to...
That was one of the crazier defenses from the Trump side, by the way. Okay, we're getting increasingly more orange. I have to fix this shit. What the hell? I have no idea how to fix this, but we have to fix this. This is crazy. I am the most orange I've ever been. He's orange for an amazing reason. This is like Mexico filter. You can set the white balance on the camera to auto and have less orange reddish tint. I don't know how to do it. No, it is auto white balanced right now. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, it just I didn't even touch anything and it automatically fixed it. How is that? That's so strange. Anyway, the camera's tired of your shit. I know. And I got the gray bars. Oh my God. Everything is fucking up. It's because you left the camera in auto white balance for the lighting in the room without you in the frame. True. Bro said Mexico filter. Oh no, you sound sicky. Yeah, I mean, who would have thought? I'm 34 and as a 34-year-old sleeping like 4 hours every night on the entire other side of the planet. Yeah, it's the window in the back. I got it. I know. It's insane how Twitter liberals are losing their minds over you being in China and enjoying it. That was expected. That was expected. It is what it is. It is what it is, chatters.
Avoid a vote, now says he'll bring it to the floor next week.
Right, and you talk about great links, Mary. Pretty extraordinary to have the the Attorney General and the FBI Director in the White House Situation Room lobbying a member of Congress. We've never really seen anything like that before.
We certainly haven't, George. They are going to great lengths, as you said, to try and stop these full files from being released. But as we said, that effort simply didn't work here yesterday.
Mary Bruce, thanks.
This morning, the pressure is mounting on President Trump and the Justice Department to release all of the files related to the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. After a House committee made public 20,000 more pages of documents, the House is now set to vote on the matter next week. And among those demanding full transparency...
You know what I find particularly crazy about this entire story? And I have not met anybody that's like giving me a reasonable answer on this, but I did see someone. I saw someone on Twitter talk about it like this was a positive. Like someone on Twitter was like, "Oh, you mean to tell me Joe Biden's weaponized DOJ was sitting on all this information and they didn't use it?" And I looked at that and I was like, yeah, why didn't he use this? Like, it just in general. Like, that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing that Biden just, like, didn't bring this up. Hello? That's not a positive for Biden. That's a negative. I know the argument that you are trying to craft here is that there is no weaponized DOJ, but like it kind of pisses me off that they were sitting on this stuff. The files were sealed. No, I mean it kind of feels like they know. They knew a lot more than they let on, and the fact that we were just not the fact that we were kept in the dark about this is crazy. But I think it's because of the Israel connection, for sure.
Epstein's survivors. Here is one of those survivors who talked to Aaron Burnett.
We need the government to release everything that's in these files, of course, with the appropriate redactions to protect the privacy of the survivors. But we really need this information to be out there so these crimes can be investigated. I think it's really upsetting to us that this is so politicized when it's not a political issue. This was a crime, and it's a crime of sex trafficking, and we really just want to see justice for the crime that happened to us.
Survivor Liz Stein there just asking for justice. CNN's Harry Enton is here with us. Now, look, when you talk to you hear from the victims, it is very clear what they want. They've made that clear again and again. What does the American public think about how Donald Trump has been handling the Epstein files compared to all the other issues that he brought up during the campaign?
Yeah, you know, Donald Trump is underwater on basically every single issue he ran on in 2024. But the Epstein files, the Epstein case, are especially dreadful for him. What are we talking about here? Well, let's take a look at Trump's net approval rating on the issue. Look, they're all in red. They're all in the negative territory. But on immigration, you know, he's 5 points underwater. Foreign policy, 8 points. Trade and tariffs, he's 7.
Why didn't Biden release the files? Besides that question showing how little you understand about the basic government, the better question is the Biden? No, it's not even this. This is not the tweet I was looking at. I've seen a bunch of other liberals also post this tweet, though. Like, the tweet I saw was basically straightforwardly defending Biden not releasing the files because, like, the DOJ is not weaponized. And I was like, I think you're missing the forest for the trees here. I think the real question is, why didn't they release it?
17 points, the economy 18 points. But look at the Epstein case. He is 39 points below water on the Epstein case. His net approval is 39 points in the negative. My goodness gracious. What Donald Trump has been selling on the Epstein files, the Epstein case, the American people, simply put, have not been buying at all, Sarah Seidner.
All right, so is there any sign that things have gotten better since there have been some things that have been released?
Yeah, okay.
Although released by Democrats.
There have been some things that have been released. Donald Trump has been trying to make some sort of case saying that, you know, the folks don't necessarily care about it. But take a look here. Approve of the Trump admin on the Epstein case in early July, right, when you had those DOJ droppings, right? It was 17%. Look at where we were by late September, the latest poll I could find it. 20%. You know, we often talk about Donald Trump having this floor, right, of at about 40%. On this particular issue, he is less than half the level of the supposed floor. There's just nobody. There is just nobody in the electorate who is buying this. They do not like the way that the Trump administration has been handling this case one iota.
Republicans have generally said they like what Donald Trump is doing, generally speaking. How do they feel about the Epstein case?
It's they're doing, yeah, this is John King style election coverage, but on Trump's Trump's pedophilia allegations. This is the state of affairs. This is the dire state of affairs in the United States of America, where we're straight up doing Super Bowl style coverage over whether the president fucked children or not. It is insane. What the hell, man? What the hell? And then people fucking yell at me over going to China and visiting. Brother, hit the escape anywhere you can, okay? Any moment that you spend away from the United States of America is probably good at this stage. You know, take a trip down to Mexico. See other countries for a little bit. You know, it's time. Sometimes it's good to just cool off from America just a little bit, you know? Because this is what we're up to. This is what's popping off in the United States of America. Like, we've already moved on from the president diddling children, and we're now looking at like whether the president's base of support is still on board with the president diddling children. Okay, they're like, yeah, what are you gonna do? The president diddled kids, but also, like, you know, is that chill? Is that cool or not with the people who voted for the president? How many people are saying, no, you don't understand. I voted for him because he was diddling kids, for example. That's awesome. That's where we're at.
Okay, so you see, you know, approve of Trump on the Epstein case. This is overall, right? And you see 17%, you say 20%. That is way below the 40% floor that Donald Trump supposedly has. How does that possibly happen? It's because of Republicans. Because look at this number. Okay, Republicans who approve of Trump's job as president, 87%. That is basically in line with the long-term average, 85, 90, 95%. But look at the Trump admin's job on the Epstein case. Just 45% of Republicans, less than half of Republicans.
He's got to be doing it on purpose, right? When he says Trump admins. Like, it has to be on purpose, right? I know that's not the point, but goddamn, I can't stop paying attention to him going, the Trump admins, the Trump admins. Mr. Holy Toledo is basically speaking a different language than all of us. You might think he's speaking English, but he has invented his own version. Did you see liberal Spider-Man get his brain bricked by pedo debate bros finally? I did not. I don't know what you mean by that either, but the current choice for hogs are: do you want dear leader to diddle kids or Democrats to change their gender without parents' consent? Yeah. So, okay. So yeah. The question in the minds of Republicans is, do you want a real active potential pedophile to remain being president, or do you want insert made up thing? Insert made up concept. What? We've entered the raping children isn't bad territory? Oh no. I mean, I guess for some people it's already kind of been there, right? And it's not just like random people that liberal Spider-Man is debating that's trying to hit the old school lines of pedophilia defense. It's also Megyn Kelly, but let's take a look at what this...
Are you asking me why it's wrong to rape children?
Yeah, I need you to tell me why it is wrong in your eyes
to rape children.
To do that. Yes. Do you need me to repeat it? Can you not hear me? Do you have too many cocks in your ears, or what's up? Why is it wrong? Is that too hard of a question? You can mute me with the background noise if you want. I'm ready to hear your answer.
You know, it's really funny because I did talk to Dean about this eventually happening to him. Because as you guys know, this is basically where you end up arriving at when you do debates. Like, you will always eventually arrive at a guy who wants to debate this. Hello, I've been seeing clips of you and wanted to come check you out to debunk the slander. Been watching for a few days. Hell yeah. I hope you are enjoying the show, I guess. Even though the show that we are watching currently is the fall of America in the hands of straight up pedophiles and their defenders. Not exactly the best time.
It's happening. It's actually happening.
That pearl clutching is so beta. Why don't you actually answer the question?
The pearl clutching is so beta. I feel like anybody that Dean talks to is just faking. I'm sorry. I just can't, in good conscience, believe that this is a real human being. Like, I feel like they just really, like, they're trolling, right? They have to be. Fantastic context that you warned him. Yes. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it happen. Every single one of these guys, not Dean, I'm saying, but like every single one of these like people who love debating and enjoy the spirit of debate end up trying to find an issue that in their minds they can rationalize. I don't know if they are like actual honest to God pedophiles. But it probably, I mean, they most likely are, right? Because otherwise, why the fuck would you ever even think about like logically trying to justify this sort of thing, right? And yeah, I mean, that's just what it is. That's just how this works. That's how it always works. You start off with like something innocuous, maybe a political disagreement you have with the other side, and then boom, one day you constantly keep increasing the intensity over and over and over again about like the subject matter that you want to discuss, and you're like, ooh, what's the most like untouchable subject matter? It's always incest and then eventually pedophilia.
It's actually happening. He's calling me a pro clutcher for saying that child rape is wrong.
No, because I asked the question. Why are you?
I didn't think this one would happen.
Yeah, you were wrong. They were definitely always going to move there, both on the debate side, but also they were definitely always going to move there on the Trump side. This is like traditional conservatism, by the way. This is like the OG libertarians. Yeah, GOP 1984. It's Morning in America. 2000, compassionate conservatism. 2020, the proper term is ephebophilia. Let the history record that I called it in 2017, says Jeet here. And he did. He did call it. He was just a little too early. They needed to wait. This is from 2017. But the reason why he was able to call this is because, like, as I've talked about before, a lot of these influential libertarian thinkers, for example, they have had very similar takes. Okay? And if the heart of your movement, if the like logical conclusion of your movement for some is anarcho-capitalism or like, you know, libertarianism in the way that Americans understand it, right? Then yeah, it's eventually going to move in that direction. And if you have more authoritarian tendencies, and libertarianism also is like, you know, devastating, chaotic, all this stuff. But like, if you have the more authoritarian tendencies, you're going to become, like, depending on whether you think you should be able to smoke weed and that, you know, migrants should be able to travel freely, you will either become the maximum bottom right quadrant libertarian who also will argue about lowering age of consent laws or abolishing it in its entirety, or you'll go to the top right quadrant where you will become a Nazi and you will advocate to put migrants in concentration camps. You will still most likely become a pedophile, though. I don't know why, but that's just how it works. I think a lot of people enjoy, like, getting a rise out of the other person that they're talking to, and then they, like, slowly but surely entertain this stuff, and they go, haha, I'm rage baiting. But, like, they don't realize, and this is something that I've seen on the internet quite a bit, they don't realize that in the process of rage baiting, you just, I mean, you look like a pedophile. Right? Like, you are outing yourself as a pedophile. I think that the corrosive aspect of that kind of back and forth communication, of course, is that it normalizes it a little bit. Not even a little bit, but a lot. And I don't like that. I don't want to live in a world where pedophilia is considered appropriate. And yet here we are. Anyway, so that's Dean's. That was Dean's approach.
As for,
but here it is. Here is the other side of this. The intellectual giant of Megyn Kelly, talking to Batya Ungar Sargon of Akkad, or whatever the fuck her name is. Megyn Kelly.
As for Epstein, I've said this before, but just as a reminder, I do know somebody very, very close to this case who is in a position to know virtually everything. Not everything, but virtually everything. And this person has told me from the start, years and years ago, that Jeffrey Epstein, in this person's view, was not a pedophile. This is this person's view, who was there for a lot of this, but that he was into the barely legal type. Like, he liked 15-year-old girls.
Barely legal? No, that's not barely legal. Barely legal is 18 plus. 15 is not barely legal, Megan. 15 is illegal, actually. Like, very much so. And for the record, I hate the fucking counters on this shit because people will be like, well, actually, what about Romeo and Juliet laws? And it's like, yeah, okay. Romeo and Juliet laws are so that that people that are in the age range that started dating before one of the two people actually became 18 years old, so they don't like unnecessarily go to fucking prison. Okay, that's not for like a 50-year-old to try and date a 15-year-old. That's for, you know, a 16-year-old and a 15-year-old dating, and then one party becomes 18 and the other one is 17. That's what Romeo and Juliet laws are for. Okay, so I don't know why you're running around with this like laminated card of Romeo and Juliet statutes in every fucking state. What the fuck? Incredible work, man. Incredible work. Wait, hold on. Where is it? Oh.
And I realize this is disgusting. I'm definitely not trying to make an excuse for this. I'm just giving you facts. That he wasn't into like 8-year-olds, but he liked the very young teen types that could pass for even younger than they were, but would look legal to a passerby. And that is what I believed, and that was what I reliably was told for many years. And it wasn't until we heard from Pam Bondi that they had tens of thousands of videos of alleged, forgive me, they used to call it kiddie porn, now they call it child sexual abuse material, on his computer, that for the first time I thought, oh, no, he was an actual pedophile. I mean, only a pedophile gets off on young children abuse videos. She's never clarified it. I don't know whether it's true. I have to be honest. I don't really trust Pam Bondi's word on the Epstein matters anymore. Yeah, so I don't know what's true about him, but we have yet to see anybody come forward and say, I was I was under 10. I was under 14 when I first came within his purview. Look, you can say that's a distinction without a difference.
No, it's not.
I think there is a difference. Yeah. There's a difference between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. Yeah. You know, it's just whatever.
Thank you. That's cool. That's a cool. Thank you. There's a distinction between a 15-year-old and a 5-year-old. That's insane, man. That's fucking insane. The only people who are arguing for this are people who get off on having power over someone or have been convinced that they should want to be controlled. They like being able to be in control. I mean, yeah. Okay, you probably have a daughter or a child that is that age, right? How would you feel if Jeffrey Epstein was trying to and was actually moving her around the world without her consent, because she is incapable of consenting, and having sex with her, raping her? Because that's what it is. It's not devoid of consent, so it is rape. Like, do you think it's appropriate? Megyn Kelly defending pedophilia before GTA 6 was not on my timeline. I mean, if you know how Republicans operate, then you know that it's not. Yeah, what makes it extra gross is Megyn Kelly's a preteen daughter. Are you okay with Donald Trump having sex with yardlers or other people's sacrifice? That's crazy that she literally has a daughter that is at the same. I dead no hella predators, but I still hang with them just to see how their mind work. This is that tweet is so funny. I can't believe we just snapped into something humorous in a not so humorous situation, but like, I don't know, controversial opinion, guys. But I think we should keep the social stigma around pedophilia. And before people go, actually, it's a phebophilia, the argument that you're presenting, as I always like to say, is that you think some minors are fuckable, okay? Because that's what you're saying. When you say, actually, it's a phebophilia, it's not a baby, you're just parsing through. Like, technically, even if you are correct in terms of, like, the designation between, like, children versus preteens, okay? The argument that you're presenting is that you find some minors, some kids, to be sexually attractive, and you are trying to justify having sex with them, raping them. It's fucking insane. Like, you're basically saying, like, there's a different type of pedophilia that I think is fine. Which, you know, maybe controversial take. Yeah, before people say classic John Marco joke, by the way, I've been saying that for years, okay? He has a really good joke about this, for sure. But in all of my many years of duking it out in the marketplace with debate lords, I've often used this counter argument over and over again. The distinction only matters in the realm of psychopathology. Yeah. It's black-pilled Andrew Fogel. I can't believe I spent like 10 years studying the immortal science of dialectical materialism only to find out that the central truth of American politics is that we are governed by demonic pedophile cabal. What if all the authoritarian purges in China are just protecting these people from pedophile-occupied government? Pog. Yeah, it's not Zog. It turns out it's Pog. That's the one unifying factor, it seems. Okay? It's just these guys, regardless of their ideological leanings, or their worldview or their, you know, background, religious beliefs, it's actually Pog. They are united in the one singular thing. Turns out the conspiracy theorists were right. That these guys all just find themselves captivated by the allure of this very famous pedophile sex trafficker. What an insane moment, dude. Anyway, let's hear what AOC had to say about the Epstein stuff.
I'm wondering, you saw these emails that came out from the House Oversight Committee. What is your, what do you think it shows you about what we know about Trump's relationship with Epstein?
Well, you know, I think we've been seeing Republicans have been trying to deflect and imply that, I mean, even House Speaker Mike Johnson had insinuated a couple months ago that Trump was on some kind of secret mission. I think what these emails demonstrate is precisely why House Republicans have been trying to block the release of the Epstein files for months now. I think it illustrates in a very damning way, and I think it also implicates House Speaker Mike Johnson as well, as to why he has refused to call the House back into session for over a month now and prevent the 218th signature from releasing the Epstein files, which is that, you know, it seems as though Donald Trump had a very close personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and that he had personally spent time with victims in the Epstein operation. And I think that this is just, I mean, it's horrifying. It's horrifying.
GOP. Oh, guardians of pedophiles. Good one, chatter. Will the hardcore Trumpers ever come around on this? Or are they just going to heavily chip around the margins? I think some will.
buying what the administration is telling. Look, we're not necessarily sure whether or not this case has moved the ball on Trump's overall approval rating yet, but I can tell you that the more that this case is in the news, the worse it is for Donald Trump, because simply put, it is his worst issue by far.
We could be seeing a vote on this next week. This case is not going away anytime soon.
It is not going away.
New York Times also dropped this bombshell investigative report on Matt Gaetz. New for the first time in the story, the 17-year-old girl who testified that she had sex with Matt Gaetz for money. She was living in and out of homeless shelters. She was working at McDonald's. She had just finished her junior year in high school, and she wanted extra money to try and save up to pay for braces to fix her teeth. Dude, this country is so fucked. Like, this is evil shit on the Matt Gaetz side. Absolutely. But like, the system is also demonic. You have to understand, this is a twofer. The system is demonic first and foremost because we have victimized this 17-year-old. No 17-year-old should be homeless, man. No one should be homeless. A 17-year-old girl who is homeless is living in a homeless shelter while working a job at McDonald's, finishing her junior year in high school, and then doing this to pay for braces to fix her teeth. Do you think Democrats are on it too? I think they have anything. Think they have anything to worry about? Yes. What? Yes. Chatter? Yes. What did I just say? It's POG. Pedophile occupied government is bipartisan, is uniparty. Pedophilia is uniparty. Okay. What do you mean? Bill Clinton is like the most famous and perhaps the most like Bill Clinton is the most famous example of like a high profile Democrat who was directly associated with Jeffrey Epstein. And the reason why a lot of Republicans actually got on the Epstein train and were constantly needling at it, constantly talking about it, was because they thought this was a Democrat pedophile operation. They thought this would finally, they thought that this would finally expose the elite pedophile cabal that the Democrats were running, not realizing that it was just bipartisan always. Okay? It was bipartisan all along. It's crazy that you sound like QAnon, but not crazy. Who'd have thought we'd end up here? I mean, I've always been I've always paid close attention to the Epstein stuff, as you guys know, for many, many years. So this is not that shocking to me. It was always also a nuisance for me to constantly have to like go over the QAnon stuff and like redirect people's attention to real events like the Epstein conspiracy, not a conspiracy theory, but a conspiracy that conspired to do crimes, as opposed to like the most nonsensical versions of these events, which revolve around, you know, QAnon and Pizzagate and conspiracies of that sort. I know we jokingly offered lip service to Pizzagate now, but Pizzagate is like the most base boosted and silly version of this. And in many ways, it serves the purpose of a distraction away from the real version of events. Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein, in an email to former Obama Deputy Counsel Kathy Rumler, suggested providing girls to illicit powerful figures, including Palantir co-founder Peter Thiel, who, by the way, as you guys know, is J.D. Vance's mega donor, and the reason why J.D. Vance is the vice president to begin with. Peter Thiel is single-handedly responsible for J.D. Vance becoming a senator, and Peter Thiel is almost single-handedly responsible for J.D. Vance becoming the vice president. Also, former CIA Director William Burns, Bill Burns, former UK Prime Minister Gordon Brown, former Norwegian Prime Minister Thorbjørn Jagland, former Mongolian president, and officials from the UAE, India, and Qatar. Talking to Obama Deputy Counsel Kathy Rumler about the UN General Assembly in 2014. Most girls don't have to worry about this crap. Understood it comes down to high risk reward, low risk reward, professional, emotional, and financial. Agreed, but I need to be prepared to say yes before I talk to him. You need to talk to boss. I think this email is not indicating he was arranging girls for all of them, but the word girls got him to say, careful, I will renew an old habit. I don't know. You always go to a different country when shit is hella fucked here. Okay, but you also have to realize shit is hella fucked in America all the time. So it's impossible for me to I would have to just like stay, even if I stayed in America the entire time, I would still encounter this kind of thing, because it's just like virtually impossible. If you are covering American politics, there's gonna be some fuck shit happening. America is a very fucked up country. Right? Your comments about Gal Gadot got tweeted by Variety and is getting good feedback. I know, I saw. So I did a Variety profile. And we're gonna get into that. Actually, we should just get into that right now. And there were some choice words in the profile. There was a really funny pre-watch Piker moment in the profile as well. I hit a big gamble and struck gold in the profile. Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. That is insane. The World According to Hasan Piker by Tatiana Siegel. Okay? Hasan Piker is about to prove his point. For weeks, the wildly popular Twitch streamer and leftist commentator has been following the online discourse surrounding the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The topic is personal for Piker, who was scheduled to debate Kirk at Dartmouth College 15 days after the right-wing political activist was gunned down at a Utah campus. Authorities charged college student Tyler Robinson with the crime, but lately a civil war has erupted among conservatives over conspiratorial claims that the Mossad had a hand in the murder. You would be surprised at how many people believe that stuff, he says, as he mulls the menu options of the crowded Chelsea restaurant on a brisk October morning. When our waiter arrives, Piker turns to the 20-something hipster. Can I ask you a question? Who is the most likely person that killed Charlie Kirk, he asks. I think it was Israel. It seems like an inside job, the server replies hesitantly before heading back to the kitchen for Piker's cold brew. The answer comes as a shock to me, but it's no surprise to the extremely online millennial who acknowledges that he is fascinated by conspiracy theories. I literally was talking to her about this mid-interview, and she couldn't believe it. She's like, what? You think a lot of people think that like Israel killed Charlie Kirk? And I was like, here, I'll show you. And I straight up turned to the waiter and I was like, hey man, you heard about this Charlie Kirk stuff, right? And he was like, yeah. Like, who do you think did it? He said straight up Israel. I watch every Candace Owens, Piker says, referring to the new media star of the far right who has fanned the flames of the Israel theory. He nods in the direction of our waiter. Is the reason why I know exactly where he is coming from with the Charlie Israel thing. For me, no matter how far-fetched the conspiracy is, if it is getting 2 million views in 24 hours, that means a lot of people are tuning into it. That means a lot of people are paying attention to it. And in this day and age, I think a lot of people are believing it. Piker feels no allyship with Owens, even if they share the belief that Israel is a malignant force. He is merely a student of the attention economy, a space in which he is thriving. With nearly 3 million followers on Twitch and 1.75 million YouTube subscribers, the 34-year-old influencer seems like a possible answer to the next question of when the left will find its own Joe Rogan. As the next generation turns more conservative and alpha males like Andrew Tate ascend, Piker offers an alternative vision and the rare ability to sway an election. As an early and enthusiastic supporter of Zohran Mamdani, Piker played a key role in helping catapult the New York mayoral candidate to Gracie Mansion by spreading the Democrat socialist message to his legion of fans. With our waiter out of earshot, Piker drops his voice discreetly. Israel did not kill Charlie Kirk. That's insane, he says. I did that for you because you were shocked. When the waiter returns with our order, he tells Piker that he's comping the cold brew. Wait, why? Piker asks. I just like your vibe, the server says. A lot of people like Piker's vibe. His brand, a twofold critique of Israel and a billionaire class, has made him a multimillionaire and a foil. Anti-Defamation League CEO Jonathan Greenblatt has accused him of using his platform to promote toxic anti-Zionism. Andrew Cuomo invoked Piker's name repeatedly along the campaign trail in an effort to smear Mamdani. Is that true, Lamau? Yeah, that was true. On this morning, guys, of course it's true. It's because I talk to people all the time. It's not fucking fake. Like, when I say I talk to people, regular folks, on a daily basis, this is what I mean. And I think many people don't do that. Many people do not do that. Many people don't just go out and talk to random people like they are regular people. Okay? That's part of the reason why I love talking to Uber drivers in general as well. That's another reason, because regular folks got some crazy ass theories. I don't talk to Uber drivers because I'm live. I talk to Uber drivers when I'm offline as well. Anyway, on this morning, Piker's just arrived via red eye from his home in Los Angeles for an appearance at the New Yorker Festival. His inclusion in the lineup already sparked a wave of outrage. Wearing a no-logo sweatshirt, sweatpants, and a Free Palestine wristband, and an Apple Watch carrying a small Gucci bag that holds his Zyn supply, Piker signals a cross between conspicuous consumption and Bernie bro. Lurking beneath a camo hat emblazoned with the word thieves is a mind that poses one of the biggest PR threats to the pro-Israel set. The Jersey-born, Istanbul-raised, Rutgers-educated provocateur has no plans to back down. People like this photo, by the way. Do you guys think this photo is cool? I was a little worried about how it was going to look. What's up with all these fanfic style interviews with you? What are the chances of this interaction happening perfectly with this interaction? This interview is going to end with and everyone clapped. I know it sounds unbelievable, but if you talk to enough people all the fucking time, you get a better feel for what their worldview looks like. I love that you think this person faked that interaction, by the way. Like, they have no allegiance with me. Why would they do that? You only get this level of cynicism if you straight up have been brain broken, I think, by... I mean, it speaks to the kismet of it all. It speaks to, like, the coincidence of it all. But it also speaks to how much you maybe pay attention to a lot of the anti-Hasan content out there, maybe, because, like, it's just strange for you to assume that that would be unique. Like, I have moments like that on stream all the fucking time. The last 2 years I've been called anti-Semitic. I abhor anti-Semitism, and I've spent my entire professional media career combating it. I just happen to be anti-Israel, and that makes me a far greater threat than the likes of Nick Fuentes because they know he's a Nazi, he says, referring to yet another polarizing figure in the ongoing schism within the far right. By the way, this is before the Nick Fuentes stuff popped off on the right wing as well, so even that in and of itself is actually an interesting predicament. Even that situation was another pre-watch Piker moment, because we were talking about this stuff before the schism became apparent. Okay, remember, this is an interview I did that I was late to, that I talked to you guys about, if you recall, because I fell asleep and I almost missed it before the New Yorker. I don't find kinship with the right because I think there are some on the right that just use Israel as a new opportunity to cut through the noise. His voice, famous from 2,674 live streams or 18,624 hours in front of a camera since he started on Twitch in 2018, is steady and evokes the East Coast liberal arts poli-sci education he received. Maybe they seek kinship with me, but I've been here for decades, he says, because this is a problem that predates October 7. That's why a lot of people in the know shortly after October 7, myself included, were like, this is horrifying, but the reason as to why this is happening is because of 75 years of apartheid at that point, the genocide that was the inception of the Israeli nation state. And most people were just so oblivious to that reality. They were like, how dare you say something so barbaric? How dare you say something instead of just sitting there silently in mourning? But there has never been a moment in my life where I ever considered Israel to be anything but a criminal enterprise. This is in fucking print, dude. This is Variety magazine. The world is changing. I need you to understand something. The world is changing so much. This is a Variety profile that isn't antagonistic on someone like myself, covering not only my worldview, my politics, but also straight up putting in print anti-Zionist statements. Hanging with Hasan Piker plays out a bit like one of his marathon streams on Twitch, a hybrid of live television and social media that allows creators to interact with his fans via chat. The hours float by as he flits from one topic to the next, a mix of politics and pop culture. He's discussed about Hollywood's treatment of pro-Palestinian voices who have lost most career opportunities, such as Scream actress Melissa Barrera, whose firing from the franchise happened, he says, at the peak of the panic. Some have been dropped by their agencies, including Susan Sarandon, love her, by UTA, or their labels like Roger Waters, he's awesome, over their Israel critiques. More recently, British punk rap duo Bob Vylan was cut by UTA for leading chance of death to the IDF during a performance in Glastonbury Festival. I don't think that's necessarily going too far, Piker says, of Bob Vylan's actions. I think the moment that you start talking about Jewish control or the Talmud is when people go too far. As a Muslim who sees so much Islamophobia, I'm very tuned into that dog whistle, like the overemphasis on Sharia. The notion that Mamdani would impose Sharia law in New York was indicative of the tenure of the final stretch of the mayoral race. They do it to Jewish people as well in a similar vein. I think that's when people go too far. From Piker's perspective, Amy Schumer should have been canceled for social media posts she made in the wake of October 7. Amy was going crazy and no punishments there. She was just straight up being like, they're all rapists, barbaric monsters. They're head choppers. We got to deal with them. Piker appears to be referencing an illustration Schumer shared and then deleted on Instagram that depicted pro-Palestinian supporters holding signs with such slogans as Gazans rape Jewish girls only in self-defense and proud of our rapist martyrs. China, you can keep him. I like that. I can't tell if this is a hater or a lover saying this because, like, I love China. That's so funny. Despite calls for his cancellation for his criticism of Israel, Piker has withstood the heat. WME didn't drop me, which I think is very interesting, he says. He was told to tone it down, but he's vague about exactly who told him. He's getting a little too hot is what I heard, he says. Did he heed that warning? No, because I'm very stubborn, and if something is wrong, I'm going to call it out. And if I can't call it out, then I can't do my job. That's my job. That's what I do. So yes, I've gotten warnings, and I'm not oblivious. Journalist Taylor Lorenz, a friend of Piker's who has covered the subject of internet harassment for 15 years, says that he is unique in the breadth of his haters, from Vice President J.D. Vance to Democratic Representative Richie Torres. Hasan is a very particular strain of politics, which is leftism that is attacked by both mainstream centrist Democrats, bad faith left-wing actors, the right wing, and just internet trolls, Lorenz says. And he's on the most dramatic platform possible, Twitch, which has the most parasocial fan base of any platform. He gets the entire internet weaponized against him. He is the only straight man I've ever seen that has been gamer-gated. Earlier this year, that's such a funny line. That's true. I'm the first male victim of like actual successful objectification. I'm the first male victim of Gamergate. Is true though. It's literally so stupid. I mean, it still doesn't impact me in the same exact way that it would others, like in the same exact way that it would women in general, and that's because obviously we do still live in a patriarchal society, right? But that hasn't stopped people from trying, if you know what I mean. Earlier this year, Mamdani's mother, director Mira Nair, signed a petition calling for the Academy to rescind his invitation to Gal Gadot to appear at the Oscars for his support for Israel's military actions against Palestinians. Given that Gadot's comments throughout the conflict have centered on releasing the hostages, I asked Piker if such a campaign was fair. I think she should be banned from the Oscars for being a dogshit actress. I think she has no business being there for the crime of what she has done, not only to the DC franchise, but really any movie she's been a part of. So that was a joke, but I feel like it doesn't read like that when you read it out loud, right? Can you tell? Because she didn't say Hasan jokes. You know, Piker quibs. Piker jokes. I think she should be banned from the Oscar for being a dogshit actress. He says to the Wonder Woman star, all jokes aside, okay, well, I did follow with, all jokes aside, Gal Gadot serves an important role in normalizing Israel as not a fascist ethno-state, but instead a place where a lot of beautiful women come from. And those beautiful women happen to serve in the IDF, because there's also this weird sexualization of the forces as well that takes place, and it plays another role in normalizing Israel and its activities and actions and whitewashing it. Now that is also a somewhat unique perspective to hear in mainstream outlets as well. Not only did they actually put all of the anti-Zionist statements in there, this is something that I never in my life would have thought that Variety would actually ever feature a piece that just straight up said that Israel, like Israeli propaganda, weaponizes the hypersexualization of its own female forces in an effort to you know, propagandize and whitewash their war crimes. Bro, You cooked. You did the perfect AI. Make this more concise paragraph on that. By contrast, Piker appreciates the work of Natalie Portman, who is Israeli but has never served in the IDF like Godot. If Gal Gadot could act like Natalie Portman, there are probably less people yelling at her. Natalie Portman has made statements about Israel that are middle of the road, but ultimately nobody holds that against her because she can act her freaking face off. All the back when she was like a teenager. Oh my God, Leon the Professional. Godot may have ruined the DC franchise for Piker, but James Gunn is redeeming it. When Superman opened on July 11th, Piker made viral the idea that the fictional nation of Baravia is a stand-in for Israel. In the film, Baravia, backed by U.S.-made weaponry, drops bombs on and oppresses his desert neighbor, prompting Superman to intercede. Gunn has since denied that the plotline has anything to do with the Middle East. James Gunn is a lot more woke than he lets on, and he lets on how woke he is all the time, Piker says, still certain of the director and DC chief's intention all these months later. Come on, man. You made the Baravian leader look like David Ben-Gurion. He just straight up looks one-to-one like the first prime minister of Israel. We don't even care about what you say about this. We know exactly what we're looking at. To take the allegory a step further, Palantir, BlackRock, and Raytheon are Luthor Corp. Lex Luthor is cutting a direct contract with Baravia to extract natural resources and then also having a testing ground for their weapons, Piker says. I mean, that's literally what we do. Gaza is a weapons laboratory. That's how imperialism works. Apropos of something, Piker then gives a thumbs up to the actor who's suited up as the latest Man of Steel. David Cornswet, from what I understand, is Jewish and he's very cool. He's not like pro-Israel or anything like that, as far as I've seen, he notes. With that, Piker is ready to move on to cross Burbank superhero rival Marvel, but there's little for him to mind on that front. I've always been a Marvel fan growing up, but I can't stand the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he says. Piker's intensity is palpable as he chases double espresso with a 6 milligram Zyn pouch. All that's missing is the scroll of chat comments accompanying his musings. Instead of swooning fans enter the real-life frame to express their gratitude, a woman dining with her son approaches our table. No, it's impossible. He lives in LA, she says, beaming. And then I kept looking and looking, and it's him. I absolutely love your work. Being a Twitch streamer is a lot of that, he says, of his exchange with the server. I have my ear to the ground all the time. A lot of people in legacy media, traditional journalists, are so out of step with the average person around them, even in their immediate vicinity. Still, Piker allows the rich and powerful to occupy plenty space in his head. Barry Weiss, recently installed editor-in-chief of the CBS News, gets a bashing. Barry Weiss is everything that I despise about access journalism, brown-nosing to institutionally powerful people, and a major advocate for Israel as well. A person that has spent her entire career decrying woke or identity politics while simultaneously using her identity as a shield, she says. Like, I'm a lesbian woman, I can't be intolerant. And also, even using your identity as a Jewish woman to say, identity politics sucks, unless we're talking about Jewish people. Piker scoffs at the idea that CBS News was biased before Barry Weiss arrived. There's not enough pro-Israel voices in major news? Come on, that's ridiculous, he says. Yet she's been rewarded handsomely for it. $150 million for a shitty Substack that no one cares about or knows about. It's very obvious why that happened. The Redstones, the seller, and the Ellisons, the buyer, wanted to make CBS more pro-Israel. Shari Redstone was willing to hand off CBS to the Ellisons because she thought they would do a better job of making it pro-Israel. When Paramount deal was announced in August, Redstone said Ellison has a clear strategic vision and the resources to take the studio to its next stage of growth. This part almost comes across as conspiratorial, especially because it doesn't actually feature the evidence that I centered this around. I've obviously covered this issue quite a bit on my broadcast, so you guys know about it. And I did actually bring it up in the interview as well. I literally showed her the article of Shari Redstone being like, I am finally selling the 60 minutes after the 60 Minutes saga, right? Since the deal closed, the studio has made a series of moves that bolster Piker's contention that Paramount is now more Israel-friendly. In September, it announced a petition signed by celebrities, including Emma Stone and Javier Bardem, that call for a boycott of Israeli film institutions that implicated in genocide and apartheid against Palestinians. Last month, CBS Morning's co-host Tony DeCoppel interviewed Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Tel Aviv. Barry Weiss was being packaged as someone who could bring top talent. Wow, Piker says. Benjamin Netanyahu never gives interviews anymore to American news. He talks to American news more than he does to Israeli news. Damn, I cooked. Perhaps it's Piker's complete lack of filter that makes him so attractive to his growing fan base. Most influencers with a red-hot career are careful not to bite the Hollywood hand that could feed them. As a result, these aspiring stars tend to punch down. Piker's willing to punch way up, all the way up to Larry Ellison, the second richest person on the planet, who backed his son David's successful bid to buy Paramount and also has a stake in TikTok. Piker's trying to explain the craven flip of the once liberal tech titan to the Republican side. When Larry Ellison first made that big donation to Marco Rubio for his presidential run in 2016, people were actually a bit confused. I think he's gay, maybe in the closet. I don't know. I hope he doesn't laser me down for speculating, he says with a laugh about the Oracle co-founder. Larry Ellison has been married to 6 women and is currently wed to Jolyn Zhu. But there are hacked emails that show Larry Ellison vetted Marco Rubio for fealty to Israel. And as Secretary of State, Rubio played a role in the TikTok talks that steer the company towards Ellison. Piker doesn't seem too concerned about the prospect of getting lasered down by any vengeful oligarch. I'm also not a stranger to super powerful social media platform owning billionaires directly hating me and making it a personal vendetta and their lives mission to destroy me somehow, he says. In the wake of the Kirk assassination, Elon Musk took to his X to call for Piker's cancellation, dredging up past comments that walked up to the line. Musk even tagged Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Amazon owns Twitch. Piker knows the irony that he's not even banned on X, never mind Twitch, because he's a power user and drives engagement. A lot of these guys are very thin-skinned, and I think the gravest mistake of my career was when I had Musk's ex-partner Grimes on my show, and she talked about how buff I was, and then I talked about how Tesla was shit, Piker says. That man has never lived it down. Grimes wasn't exaggerating. Piker is hard to miss with his muscular 6'4" frame. He works out 1 to 2 hours a day, a regimen that includes playing basketball. If he ingratiated himself better with the oligarchs, he would be courted by mainstream Hollywood. He's already heard the siren call and turned it down. His manager, former WME agent David Hunsinger, fielded a $1 million offer from one popular betting platform to run a ticker ad during just one stream on election night 2024. Piker said no. I'm not the easiest client, and not even because I get into trouble, Piker explains. I say no all the time to a lot of deals, like a lot of money, and that's why I really respect David, because throughout our entire professional relationship, he's probably said no to tens of millions of dollars. Starting number was $1 million, which means they could have probably gone up. He's happier helping the Mamdanis of the Democratic Party and sticking a thorn in the side of the Cuomo types. He brought up my name next to Hamas, he said during a debate with Mamdani. Why don't you denounce Hamas? Why don't you denounce Hassan Piker? Piker says the former Democratic governor turned independent mayoral candidate. I'm very similar to Zoran in many respects, and the same reasons why they would be resentful of Zoran or fearful of Zoran is the same reason why they despise me. With the election just 10 days away, Piker is keeping a low profile with the Mamdani campaign. I'm in a holding pattern right now, he says, with a hint of sadness creeping into his voice. I don't want to be too prominent in and around the Zoran stuff at the moment because I don't want him to use it as a line of attack over and over again. What the Cuomo campaign used was a soundbite of Piker, which, by the way, after I said this, they pumped it. This is before they did the extra attack ads, if you remember. Like, this was before the sequence, the wave of, like, Hassan Piker did 9/11 and Zoran Mamdani loves 9/11 ads. I just assumed that they would do it. What the Cuomo campaign used was a soundbite of Piker saying America deserved 9/11 during a 2019 stream. I was talking about blowback, a theory that has academic consensus at this point, that our meddling in the affairs of the Middle East has led to the blowback of 9/11, he explains. This wasn't to say 9/11 is good. It's a horrifying act of terror where 3,000 New Yorkers were slaughtered, and even many more with the first responders that tried to save as many people as possible. Yet it was, of course, weaponized against me. But as election night swung Mamdani's way, Piker wasn't keeping a low profile, but toasting with the millennial mayor-elect with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of the Brooklyn Paramount Victory Party. There he offered no mercy for Cuomo. What happened? I thought the Hassan Loves 9/11 was a successful campaign strategy, he said in a video that ran on his YouTube channel. Andrew Cuomo, fuck you. Suck my dick. Before the Mamdani win becomes reality, however, Piker can only hope the polls are accurate, but he's feeling confident as we walk along a busy stretch of 10th Avenue. An older man wearing a bandana and hoop earrings stops in his tracks and claps as he recognizes Piker. It's a sign that the streamer's message about Mamdani and or Israel is resonating. Then it hits me that Piker has no security detail as he mingles with the masses. Post-Kirk, that seems unwise. I make it a point not to have bodyguards when I'm around the people, he says. I think it was it Fidel Castro or Che Guevara who said, I have a moral vest? It was Castro. It was Castro. No one cares. You seem like you care. Getting mad enough to comment on an article that no one cares. Interesting. Extremely well-written profile. Regardless of what the oligarchs desire, there's a reason why Piker has resonated with so many people. As one of my favorite pieces, I think that's one of my favorite profiles of all time, straight up. It was a banger. That ending was so hard, bro. Literally made me tear a bit. Was this a standard 20K? Goodbye. Chad, but man, I would not be worried. I would not be worried if you were in Europe or Asia, but your country is so crazy with their guns. No, I know. And yeah, the article actually was posted on the article was actually posted on their, or this quote was posted on their social media, and it went LeBron numbers, dude. 71,000 likes. Hey, open presents. Thank you for the gifties. The Piker Broadcasting Service, once again, is sponsored by you, the viewers, for you, the viewers. As you know, you too can subscribe to the Piker Broadcasting Service for free with a Twitch Prime or with a $6 subscription. Or you can get gifted a sub if you're lucky. What is this? There was a crack.com article about me. The Left's Joe Rogan is now a comedy podcast regular. Hassan Piker is not as popular as Joe Rogan. God damn. Fucking end me.
Siempre está protegido con su traje. ¿Cuál traje? What suit? Everybody says you always have Sé que todo el mundo dice que usted tiene un chaleco a prueba de balas. No. No. Voy a desembarcar así en Nueva York. I will land in New York like this. Tengo un chaleco. I will land in New York like this. Tengo un chaleco moral. I have a moral one. A moral vest. Qué fuerte. It's strong. Ese me ha protegido siempre. That one has protected me always.
Es uno de los más intentados matar, la verdad. Pero parece que tiene 7 vidas como el gato.
Hate to be a Bellskill, and I love the moral vest quote, but I gotta remind you, to thousands of lunatics is a moral bullseye. It is what it is. This was actually Che Guevara who said this moments before his assassination, but I am but a man. Okay? What are you going to do? You can't live life like that. The moral vest was Fidel Castro. Okay, we're back. This happened yesterday too, remember? It happened one time and then not again, never again. So It happens. Did the writer know of you before the profile? Feels like they didn't really, which is nice for these types of profiles. Really well done. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they did a lot of research ahead of time, right? No one writes a profile that long without doing adequate research, especially for a magazine like Variety. Wait, I'm confused. Why does this tweet have 71,000 likes, but this tweet? Oh, never mind. It just updated to 72,000 likes. I thought it was like two separate tweets. Hey, you should use the rest of your 35% discounts, coins in China. For gifted subs? Nah. Yo, Variety. Since when are you platform scumbags like Hassan Piker? I've been reading Variety my whole career and never, not once, have I seen a Hollywood trade give this much shine to an anti-Jewish, anti-Semitic troll who makes a living insulting people in show business, especially women. What happened to you? Where'd your standards go? When did you become the hype machine for hate click bottom feeders in Hassan? You're a fake tough guy with a webcam and Wi-Fi. A professional bully with a ring light. Variety, do better. Stop giving megaphones to people who spit on the very industry you cover. I had a dream that all the wokes were being prosecuted and you were in hiding. Yeah, Michael Rappaport. By the way, a famous defender of women, Michael Rappaport. It's pretty funny that he just basically described himself, a fake tough guy with a webcam and Wi-Fi, is unironically the perfect way to describe Michael fucking Rappaport. A professional bully with a ring light, once again, also perfectly descriptive of Michael fucking Rappaport. Brady's gonna get so jealous. Entertainment Weekly picked up your comment. Political commentator Hassan Piker slams Gal Gadot, calls her a dog shit actress. Yeah, I mean, it's confusing to me because, like, do people not know this? Like, do people are people oblivious to like how much people actually rip on Gal Gadot's acting? Like, even outside of like the IDF stuff.
Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone. And enough champagne to fill the Nile. Mirror, mirror, magic mirror, who is the fairest of them all? It is our sacred duty, and I'm going to help them. Kyle, no! Max Lord, you're putting yourself and everyone in grave danger. I need you to give me the stone.
I think one of the funniest parts about this, and it's yet another testament to how bad Gal Gadot's acting is the fact that the action